All right, welcome everyone to Jewel by July. This week we are going to talk about customer and ambassador retention. And then at the end, we're also going to talk about goal setting, specifically related to convention credits. So we're all going to share kind of our pointers on what we're doing to get those convention credits. So before I start, if everyone could just remember to mute so that we don't have any background noise, that would be awesome. We're recording, so I want to make sure that that's kept to a minimum. So basically, I kind of wrote this out because it's been something that I have struggled with in the past. I would say in the beginning of my business, I had a pretty nice set of customers, preferred customers mostly. My second month, I made weekly leaders, most preferred customers. And then a couple months in, I started to notice that my retention rate was not good. So this is something that I have been working on and focusing on for months now. And I'm finally really starting to implement a lot of this. It was a big part of my 2016 goals. So these are kind of just my tips, and at the end, we'll talk to Jacqueline, Jessica, and Allison too if they have any more to add. So when we're talking about retention of a customer and even an ambassador, I truly believe that it starts before you even sign somebody up. We call this network marketing, but really it's relationship marketing. So we want to start building that relationship from the get-go. We want to make sure that we're asking the right questions, recommending the right products, and making sure that we set them up for success from the very beginning. Once we sign up our customers, we need to set expectations. If you tell them that all they need to do is drink this pink drink and they're going to feel the best they've ever felt, we're going to set them up to fail. So let them know that Plexus is not a magical pill and that they're going to need to make some lifestyle changes. As soon as they order, send them a welcome email with instructions on how to be successful in the products, their customer ID, your info, your website, and any other relevant information. Mail them a handwritten thank you note. Really make it personable. Show them how thankful you are for them for becoming your customer. Within a week, be sure to call them to make sure that they've received their order. You want to ask them or answer any questions that they might have. Remind them what their goals are and how they can be successful, all while continuing to build a trust and relationships. So make sure you're asking about their family, their life, whatever you know. So be personable, be relevant, entice them to want to participate in this, and then have a call to action. So maybe set up your next call with them, or tell them to, or ask them to check in with you in a week. During this first call, yes, please mute if you haven't.
Sounds like somebody's doing the dishes.
Dishes, yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you. Please mute.
So, okay. During your first call, make sure you're not focusing on what they need to give up, but more focused on what they need. So talk about the water that they should be drinking. Talk about dark leafy greens, protein, and emphasize that consistency in taking the products is going to help them be more successful. After that, you're going to want to call them weekly for the first month to make sure that they're doing well on the products and to find out what benefits they're seeing. Be sure to ask them questions that they can answer positively. What benefits are you seeing? Are you sleeping better, more energy, less sugar cravings? And make sure not to focus on the scale. If they're having issues with their products, make sure to troubleshoot with them. Ask them how much water they're drinking. Ask them what their diet looks like. make sure that they're eating at least 1,200 calories a day, more if it's a male. Ask them to journal their food and their water intake for a few days and then send it to you. Another question you might want to ask is if they're on birth control, because that can affect a lot of things with the products, especially weight. On the Plexus Power Tools, there's a troubleshooting guide. You can send that to them or even personally go over that with them and then discuss how you can help them change how they're taking, when they're taking their products. Another idea I had was instead of waiting to troubleshoot with them, maybe revamp that troubleshooting guide and send that to them in the very beginning so they know exactly what to do from the get-go. Always encourage them to take their products for at least 60 to 90 days. I didn't know this in the beginning, but the 60-day money-back guarantee is for every single order. So it's not just their first 60 days. They could be into it a year and something happens and they can get their money back. So once they've finished their first month, make sure that you're still following up with them monthly. Make sure to inform them when their auto ship is going to go out about a week before so that you can help them add new product or change their order if they need to. This is something that I'm planning on implementing here in the next month or so, but send out a monthly newsletter to all your customers. Keep it short and sweet. Maybe have a product highlight, a tip of the month, or I don't know, just suggestions for them to be more successful. One thing that my team has done is we have a customer support page. I post in it regularly, and I'm really trying to encourage support from customers, so encouraging them to ask questions, support one another, etc. Outside of all of that, it's good to create a schedule of when you will follow up. So you could do it in Excel or Word. Some people do it in a handwritten document, whatever's going to work for you. But you want to make sure that you have it scheduled, but you also want to make sure that you ask your customer how they want to be followed up with. So, and notate that in your schedule. So do they want a text, email, phone, whatever's going to work for them. This is just kind of general customer service, I would say, and this goes for ambassadors and customers. But if you're going to if you say you're going to do something, make sure you do it and follow up as well. So answer emails, phone calls, texts in a timely manner. If you don't know the answer, it's totally fine to tell them that you don't know the answer and that you'll get back with them. Just make sure you get back with them. Some customers are information oriented. So you might need to send them information throughout their journey, kind of telling them why the product is working or how they can make it better. So make sure you're asking them what types of sources they like to see. So do they want to read documents, watch videos, listen to a call, and then send them the appropriate information. After a few months as a customer, I think it's really nice if you can send them another handwritten note along with a thank you gift. It could be something as simple as P96 or Ease Cream samples. You could send one of the Plexus water bottles. I think they're only like $8. Or you could invest a little bit more and send them a bottle of X Factor or a product that they're not already taking. You want to just make sure whatever you're going to do is within your budget. So next, a little bit more about, or this is going to be about ambassador retention. So just like a customer, setting expectations with your ambassadors is going to be key. Building relationships is still huge. If someone signs up for wholesale only, be sure to treat them just like you would a customer. If they have success with the product, they're more likely going to share. If they are in it to start the business, even if they're just trying to get their products covered, make sure that you are training them and training them well. Get started with them right away, within 24 hours. Add them to your uplines welcome video, and don't wait to schedule a 3-way call with your upline. I think it's critical, even if they're wholesale, because as a wholesale buyer, they might have questions that need to be answered, and it feels really good to have somebody else in the company help you answer those questions. Next week, our welcome call and training is going to be changing a little bit with a new success kit, but I still think it's really important to get those calls in. We'll have more information on that. I think Emily's going to be talking a lot about that on Rising Emeralds. You want to start your accountability training calls the first week. Don't overwhelm them with information, but give them important tidbits in the beginning. Sometimes we just want to share all this information and it gets really overwhelming, but if we can just give them information at a time that's relevant when you're first starting, that's best. Make sure they have the success plan and any other tools that are going to help them. One thing that I feel has hindered me in my business is that I didn't really teach my first ambassadors how to be independent. And so this is something I'm really working on and trying to change from here on out. So don't leave them out to dry without knowing where to find information, but send them things like the success plan, Plexus Power Tools, your favorite YouTube channels. I've seen people even write up documents that have it all in there, and then they send it to their ambassadors. Another part that is really, really important is helping your new ambassadors create their why, and this should be done right away. Make sure that they write it down and then remind them of it if they're needed. Also helping create their goals, and then teaching them how to meet those goals. So making a plan. You're not going to have somebody who wants to go to the top in the company quickly do the same thing that someone that wants to just get their products covered will do. So next, also helping your new ambassadors to build a belief in the company and the products. A lot of our ambassadors start off without even trying them. So direct them to your favorite diamond documentaries, send them testimonies, send them financial testimonies, anything that's going to help build that belief. And make sure you're letting them know that you believe in them and that you believe that they can do this business. Be sincere about it, but I think it's really important. Teach them how to earn their paycheck their very first month. So talk about going silver and getting 500 PV. This is really important because once they see the possibilities, they're going to have the drive to continue on. I can personally say that my first paycheck is where that's what made me realize the possibilities with this company. I've been in network marketing before. I lost money in the previous company, and my first paycheck with Plexus was higher than any paycheck ever with the previous company I was with. So that was huge in just showing me the possibilities. So I know we've all heard this many times before, but once you have 5 team members, be sure to set up a team page, because this is going to keep your ambassadors engaged and just feeling like they have a place to go, smaller than some of the bigger team pages. You want to make sure you're posting in it every single day, post relative information on products, the business. And then this is another part that I find super important because it makes people feel good, is to give shout outs to people that are doing well, people that are stepping out of their comfort zone, signed up their first ambassador, reach 500 PV. Those are all huge goals and things that need to be brought up. So one thing that I did when I first set up my team page is I did a weekly challenge, and then I also did a question of the day for like the first couple weeks. Sometimes it was crickets, but I was always consistent about it, and I think it really changed the dynamic of my team, and everybody started trusting each other pretty early on. Some of the questions that I did were just basic, like, where do you live? What's your family like? What's your favorite thing to do on the weekends? And that just, I think, promotes camaraderie amongst your team. So lastly, incentivize your team. Do challenges with them. I know Alice and Ricky gives $5 when you get your first new customer. I think that's a great idea. But one thing you have to remember is that even though incentives and challenges can be fun and temporarily motivating, you have to remember that motivation needs to come within. You're not going to be able to rally up people that aren't really in it for the long haul. So just to close, just remember that not all customers are going to stay around forever. The average customer length is about 4 to 5 months. So with that being said too, we will all have white lines with our ambassadors. This business and our products are not for everyone, but I do feel like we can play a major role in how successful people can be in the products or the business. So don't focus on reawakening your inactive members, but focus on adding new people who want to do the business or try the products, and focus on the people that you already have there. Continue sharing your passion, adding new customers and ambassadors every month, and your team's sure to grow. So that is all I have for tonight as far as this training goes. Allison, Jacqueline, Jessica, do you guys have anything that I might have missed? Anybody?
Well, I don't think I missed,
Megan?
anything.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jack.
This is PR. Oh, wait, sorry.
that's okay.
Sorry, I have a question. I Facebook messaged you, but then it says that you're not active, so you probably didn't see it. I have a quick question. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So can you clarify on that 60-day money-back guarantee being for, you had said something that it's based on all orders within that time period? That's super important that I want to know. I did not know that. So, like, have you used a strategy yet where you have a customer that you sound like you're really good about checking in? Have you basically hit them on day 45 or something and, you know, wanted to encourage another month? So then can they order another month of the triplex, and so long as they have received the product within those 60 days, Plexus will give money back essentially on 3 triplexes?
Well, no, not the 3. So it would be more within 60 days. So like say they ordered a triplex on day 55, they can get that triplex and the one before.
Okay.
The money back. Am I saying that right?
Well, it's for every single shipment that comes to you, you have 60 days to return it.
Yeah.
Every single shipment you have. So if your first shipment comes and 60 days pass, you're out of luck on that first one. But your second one comes and you want to use 60 days, you can. Third one comes, you got, within 60 days of each shipment, you can get a refund.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people shy away from, telling their customers that they can get the money back, but I think it just kind of builds trust by letting them know that. And I haven't had
absolutely.
I haven't had too many people get their money back, but if they
No,
want
I
to
agree.
do it
I don't think a lot of people will exercise it, but just the fact that we have it in our back pocket, that's just kind of what I wanted to know. So,
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, do we want to go on to goals, or does anyone else have any more questions?
Yes, I want to clarify that one more time.
Sure.
Okay, so 60-day money-back guarantee. So let's say we ordered the triplex for 3 months because we want to give it 90 days.
Uh-huh.
They can, on the 3rd month, they could get 2 months reimbursed.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that when that came out, and we were all like, "What?" Minds were blown. It was good, because it's a good way to encourage people to try new products too, and let them know that if you hate it, it's okay. You can still get your money back. At least like maybe trying Boost or trying X Factor might take you up to the next level, and just encourage them to have that with peace of mind.
Yeah,
The only other thing that I was going to mention was I saw a huge dip in growth in my team when we had a lot of people join for wholesale and we didn't encourage welcome calls for everyone. And I think people just build that up to be something that it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be this crazy, like, welcome to the business. You can just let them know, like, my friend, my sponsor, whatever you want to say, wants to get to know the people on her team, on our team, and we want to support you with your products. If you have any questions, just make it not sound scary. It can be 15 minutes, it can be 30 minutes. Let them know that it's just a really quick intro so that they know they have additional support other than just you. I think the people that do that see a little bit of vision too, because you can touch on it without going overboard and plant some seeds, even if they're truly wholesale, because how many of us started as wholesale just for the discount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of us. Nobody really thinks they're going to share until they realize how much they love the products. So get them, plant the seeds, make that connection, get them on the team pages, definitely get them on the team pages so they can watch the excitement and everything that's going on. They can always leave if they really don't want to. But that's one thing that the teams that grow quickly do that. The teams that don't do that just kind of fall flat. So that's a really big recommendation from me. I'm on mute now.
All right, any more questions? All right. Do one of you girls want to start with your goals and for convention? Chat about that.
I can go.
Okay,
If you want me
awesome.
to. If that's all right. So I want to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing because we didn't really talk in depth about this, but we just kind of want to get you guys, I know everybody's on different starting points here. So some of you may have been at convention last year. I know Megan and I were talking about, like, we didn't even know what convention points were for a little while. We'd get these emails and we're like, oh, okay, good. And then Emily would check in and we're like, oh, we're really supposed to be doing things. So we just want to make sure that you know that you have an awesome opportunity here because it's a fun thing to do. It's super motivating, and it's something that you can really map out. And I'm going to kind of show you how I do that. Everybody, this looks a little bit different. It's kind of like your DMO or your schedule, follow-up schedule. But really what you want to do is, they sent out all of the incentives. You kind of want to make your goal. We suggest making a high goal, even if it doesn't seem like it's something you can do because we have a lot of time. You figure out how many points you need, and then you just kind of go, I start big and then go all the way down to small. So when I look at the, 3,600 points, I'm like, ah. But then when you start breaking it down into days and weeks and get overwhelmed, and it helps me realize that it's something that's doable. So I kind of just want to show, I know I'm a visual person. I did this on the last one too, but I'm going to show you guys what I do, and then I can post this too. Uh-oh. Can you guys see it? Can you see the screen? Anybody? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Someone say, what happens when you put this up is I can only see like 3 people. So I'm only seeing you guys. So this is kind of what I do is I did 2 different examples so you guys can see, and then you can kind of take these. So this is one example that I want to get to the $300 travel voucher. And then the next example is how I would get to the black tie gala. So I started with my total credits over here, $1,600 for the $300 travel voucher. And the way that it's set up is you're going to get credits for everything through like halfway through May. It's like May 14th or something. Don't quote me on that. But the only thing that doesn't count in May is those PV points. So PV for me, I think especially if you're new, is the least intimidating way because it's usually easier to get a customer than it is an ambassador. So I start with that, and I'm saying, okay, my goal is to be over 2,500 PV each month. Each month. So that's the most amount of credits that you're going to be able to get. So right there across the board, I'm getting 300 credits every month. And now I'm not going to count May because we're not going to count May. Up here is just this total amount of credits. And then I just broke that down within 4, knowing that over here, May, I'm going to have a couple, buffer catch-up days to say, or half a month to make sure that if I missed anything or didn't quite hit my goal for one of the months that I can catch up there. And then this is a part that you can kind of play with a little bit, figuring out how many points and how many ambassadors and customers. Maybe it's going to be an awesome month. Maybe you have a sip and see, and it's going to be a great month for new customers and you don't have a ton of new ambassadors. Maybe you're running a promotion for ambassadors and it's vice versa. So you're getting 10 points for preferred customers or ambassadors, regardless either way, it's the same amount of points. So this can fluctuate a little bit. So I like to think of this as like 10 points between my customers and ambassadors, if that makes sense. So then I did the same exact thing. And I like to do that because my comfortable goal is the $300 travel voucher. That's where I'm like, oh, that's realistic for me right now. And then my like ultimate, like it would be friggin' sweet to go to this black tie gala. So I really realistically want to know how much it's going to take me to get there. And then I like to have both because I like to see, it really helped me realize like the amount of points is over doubled. But when I'm looking at who I'm adding on, it really isn't that much, especially if I'm thinking of, it's not just my personally sponsored, it's the ones below me. So my team as well. And same thing with these, I kind of fluctuated ambassadors and customers of how many I could get. But yeah, that's just how I kind of break it down. And then, you're going to have better months than others. And I feel like it's one of those, I think I would just suggest like root for that high PV because 300 points every month is a huge chunk of change when you're talking about convention credit. So focus on that a ton and then just building whatever momentum you can with your teams to try and sign as many customers as ambassadors. And the cool part about it is, you kind of forget about promotions at this time, or at least I feel like I do because you're so focused on convention credits, but you're helping yourself promote, obviously, if you're gaining new customers and ambassadors too. So that's just how I do it.
I love that. I wish I was that organized.
I know, me too.
But I'm inspired, so I'm going to try to work on it, Jessica. One thing that I think is really cool, and it was allowed last time to confirm, double dipping was allowed. So if you have a new customer that's over 50 PV, they count as a new customer. If they upgrade, they should count as, upgrade with the welcome pack. They should upgrade and count for points again. Is that right, Emily? Or yeah, thumbs up if it is.
Sorry, I can check on that. I hope so. It seemed, usually Plexus kind of, they give you the benefit of the doubt. They always kind of, do what they can to help you out. So I will check on that though, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a thumbs up.
Can I ask a quick question before you move on, before I forget? Emily, I read this somewhere and I can't remember, but if we signed up ambassadors last month that didn't buy a welcome pack, but they buy one this month in January, will those welcome packs count?
So that's a good question. And I actually had that question last week and I spoke with someone at customer service. And I was told with the new welcome packs, the answer is going to be no, because people can go in and buy them for whatever it is, like $16.99 or whatever.
Yeah, but
And-
with like the $99 one, I'm saying. Like if they haven't bought like the full blown welcome pack.
That I would think would count. But I will check, and that's a Chris Pike question. And he's really pretty good for the most part at answering if you ever want to shoot him an email.
Okay.
But yeah, that might be, yeah.
I'm just curious because I had a lot of people not buy welcome packs because they wanted the
new
new one. So
But yeah, the new ones are probably not going to count for those 10 points because of the, because a lot of ambassadors will be buying them kind of in bulk, maybe like 3 or 4 for people, and it's hard to track.
right. Yeah, I wouldn't expect those too, but thank you. Do you want to go on, Allie?
Goal setting. I am going to admit that I have not done it yet. Bad. So I need to get on it. Because how can you know what you need to do if you don't have that plan and you don't have that mindset? So learn from me that, obviously the 300 travel voucher is great and Black Tie Gala would be incredible. So those are the 2 that I'm really shooting for. And I'm working on a lot of trainings and incentives and things like that. One thing that I had, I think it's cute, idea was I never got around to doing the little gifts that Debbie Darby posted a video about. And so I was going to make some like little Valentine type packs with either a packet of Slim, samples, a packet of P96, or the body cream samples, and just get out those little gifts to the people who maybe they're not strangers, but they're acquaintances that I've never approached about Plexus before, and make a little Valentine. Roses are red, violets are blue, P96 is awesome. Here's one for you. Something to that effect, and just get out of my comfort zone and sharing with the people that I've never talked to before about it, and I'm hoping that generates some new customers from people who I'm not Facebook friends with yet. So that's an idea that I had. We also have an opportunity meeting in Denver coming up soon. And I was thinking about did any of you guys catch that 30-minute Zoom? It wasn't a Zoom, it was a Google Hangout opportunity call that was just the other night. It was really awesome. Jen Hawkins was like the guest featured speaker on it. And it was really interesting how they did it. People could just pop in. It was like the normal opportunity meetings that we do, but really, really condensed. It had mostly testimonials, and it had Jen kind of talk about the opportunity. And I thought that would be a really neat way to just condense what we're having success with the online meetings and make it really simple. So that's another thing that I am planning to do. Oh, and I am actually thinking about doing a white line. I know you said don't focus on the white lines, but sort of like a comeback campaign where they can, if they order 100 PV worth this month, then they can be entered to win a $100 gift certificate, and also incentivize their upline. If they help bring back a customer, then they're going to be able to be in the drawing for $100 too. So it's an investment, but I think if you get enough people to do it, then it could be really worth it. So I have lots of ideas I need to execute.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I didn't talk about mine. I don't have anything fancy like Jessica. That was really awesome. And I don't think I will ever have time to make something so awesome. You're amazing. My thing right now is I'm not accepting anything less than the 2,500 PV. How that's going to happen, I don't know. I'm kind of really pushing myself to I'm reaching out to people like crazy. Like I'm just throwing caution to the wind, and I am just going all out, and I am contacting 1 million people a day. So that's what kind of my plan to get to that 2,500 PV, or adding the ambassadors. And then I'm also trying to incentivize my team. I'm really big on getting to a certain number of total ambassadors. For some reason, I don't know. I like nice even numbers, and I want to get to a certain place by the end of the month. So I kind of look at what number I want to get to by the end of the month and try to make a push with my team. I threw out a crazy one for this month. I know you guys are probably thinking I'm insane. People on my team, the first thing I threw out was to try to add, I thought something that I think we can do. It's kind of crazy, but I think we can do it. And I said that I would, draw some names for some big money. And then I upped it. I said, if we get to this point, then the top enroller is going to get like really big cash. So I'm trying to invest invest quite a bit and really make a push for growing our teams right now. And then I think I mentioned earlier to some of you guys before we actually got into the training, I've been training like crazy these past few weeks. I'm doing like 3 welcome calls a day. I've been on calls with potentials every single week, usually multiple times a week. So I am on the phone all the time. So really, I'm just not resting. That's all. My goal is to carry a big check through the Vegas airport. So we'll see if that can happen. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Nothing fancy like Jessica, just really going balls to the wall, pardon my French.
Awesome. I'm kind of the same way. I haven't done any major planning, except for I did look at, and I've really paid attention to that chart that Melissa Darby posted on how many points you need each week. So I liked that. It helped me kind of figure out like, okay, this is doable. But then, and so I've been doing the same thing. Last week I was and this weekend, just contacting tons and tons of people. I'm going to host an online event. I've got a sip and see scheduled. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm contacting past customers, past ambassadors, and I'm asking for referrals. And I'm going to incentivize with $10 Amazon gift cards. So if they can get an order of a new customer over $50, then I'll incentivize with that. So that was just an idea I came up with today. So that's about it. Does anyone have any questions? Laura Davis, do you still have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering earlier when we were talking about welcome packs. I know that new investors have 60 days to order their welcome pack. So if I were to sign somebody up this month and they didn't order a welcome pack, they like skipped their welcome pack or whatever, and then ordered it next month, then would I get points for them? Like if they ordered it within their 60 days? Does that make sense?
It's my understanding that they would, but Emily, can we ask you that one?
Well, yeah, I think from what I understand, they will not because in the past you had to call in and specifically order a welcome pack to get the big $99 welcome pack, whatever. But because if they've already ordered product and they're just getting the new welcome pack, from what I understand, it's like,
So are they not doing
$99?
the $99 welcome pack anymore? I'm confused.
Well, they will, but
because I don't
I'm
know.
assuming,
Like if you just had 100 PV like this month, and then next month you want to get the $99 welcome.
the whole welcome pack. Well, then maybe
Yeah.
honestly, that's a question we'll have to ask. Because I guess I was just thinking of like the actual new little $16.99 dollar welcome pack. But yeah,
I'm
I
talking
guess
about
if you're
like
getting the 99, yeah.
When we did the leaders retreat, that happened to me for a couple of people. For my points, if they purchased or did not purchase a welcome pack in the 1 month, and the next month they did, I got credit for them towards the contest.
Yeah, me too. I remember that.
Then they'll probably honor it. I guess I wasn't thinking the $99 welcome pack. I would like the $16.99, that $17.
That was a question I had too, because I think about 8 ambassadors last month not order a welcome pack. They ordered 100 PV worth of product. And then this month they're calling customer service after the 18th to get their $99 welcome pack.
I like the sound of that, Lauren.
I know.
Hey, just a quick question. If I had 2 people sign up last month and they paid their join fee, but they didn't order product because they'd already had it from prior purchase. So to get their $99 welcome pack, do they have to call or can they go back on the website?
They have to call. Yep, they have to
Okay.
call.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, so we'll find that answer out. and post on the page.
Does anybody know if there's ever been success with somebody emailing customer support and then like our, the Jewel upline can confirm it and get it done that way to make it easier with, especially with wait times?
Laura Davis, didn't you do that?
Not to order a welcome pack.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
No. I was just going to ask if anybody had noticed wait times decreasing at all with customer service, because I haven't called them in a while.
What I call 7:30 first thing in the morning, and it's been like between 12 and 15 minutes.
Oh, that's good to know.
But if I wait any longer, especially after like 3 p.m., like late afternoon, it's over an hour usually.
Okay.
So first
Thanks.
works for me.
Awesome.
I really didn't, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I wanted to give you guys just a heads up. We got an email, the Jewels got an email explaining that there's a little bit of a change. They need to edit a couple of the DVDs or something that come in the new welcome packs, from what I understand. And it's looking like it's going to be about a week later than we thought for the new welcome packs to roll out. So you guys should be getting an email like really soon about this. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. It is not looking like it was supposed to happen tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, so it's probably not going to be tomorrow that the new ones are released. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
All right. Thanks for the news, Emily.
I have a question about that then. Sorry. But so my biggest concern, I mean, there's nothing we can do about that, but I have, told my ambassadors last month signing, wait, order your welcome packs in January because there's new ones coming and yada, yada, yada. And so my only concern is, how long are we going to tell them to wait before their backup ships?
Yeah, and unfortunately, you are not the only one in that boat. There's a lot of people who did the same thing last month and this month. So I don't know the answer to that, honestly. I'm not really sure. I'm Stacy was very concerned the day of Super Saturday because if you looked at the wording on the slideshow, it said on January 18th or after or something. Like it didn't say and after, it said or. So Stacy was really concerned and she said, I'm afraid they're not going to be ready. And they said basically with the big push of having them all ready for Super Saturday, it's just being held up a little bit. So I wish I could tell you guys more specifically. They said it would be a week is what they told us in a Jewel email. Jacqueline, did they say anything else in that email specifics?
Pull that up. I don't feel like, I didn't remember that they said a week. Okay, let me see here. Shipping, unfortunately, a big push has put our inventory a week or so behind before they can be included in the new welcome packs. New ambassadors who join Plexus before the official announcement will still receive the current Success kits. We will send you a notification the evening before the new kit is going to be included later in the month. Happy New Year.
Guys, the thing is, don't let this people can still get the welcome kits if they're getting close to their 60 days and they really need it. It's not a huge investment. Make a contest out of helping them buy or gift them the $16 when they're ready in February. Say get 2 customers and it'll be my gift to you. Like make it fun, make it not a big deal. We're going to be presenting and sharing all the information anyway. It's waiting 2 weeks for that is, it's not going to hurt anybody. I understand that we're disappointed. We all are, but just make a positive spin on it.
I totally agree, Allie. I I talked to Melissa Darby about a couple of these things, you know, the back office frustrations. And Melissa said to me, you know, there's always going to be obstacles. There just are. And whether it's this or something else, there's just going to be obstacles, just like there are in any business. It's how we handle it. And it's the big picture. And the big picture is, you guys, we have these welcome packs. We've seen them. They're going to be amazing. They're going to change our business. So whether we have them this week or next or the week after, it's going to be okay. And I understand frustration. I understand how you're feeling with the people that skipped them that are waiting. But it's going to work out. And the fact that we're able to buy them in bulk, and we'll be able to, you know, give them out if needed and use them as incentives, it'll work out. So I love that, Allie. I think putting a positive spin on it and just, you know, keeping positive and keeping our teams positive is going to be really important.
I have just one more question. Sorry. For those who are going to just go ahead and order a welcome pack, even just to get that $99 rate this month, whether it's the new, you know, kit or the old kit, once that welcome pack is ordered, their backup order will not ship, right?
That is correct. If they do it before their backup order ships, that should take place of their backup order.
That satisfies the 100 PV requirement for being commission qualified.
However, if they're like at 400 PV from customers and they do the welcome pack to get to 500, welcome pack doesn't count towards it.
Oh yeah, good point.
So, I made a mistake once with that. Sorry, Amanda. And you know, we're all learning, right? But just know that does not count towards your overall PV. Welcome pack PV does not count for that.
Any other questions? All right. Yay, Megan. I loved your training. It was awesome. Everybody have a good night.
Good night, everybody. So who's registered for convention already? I want to know.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, everybody? Everybody has almost? It's going to be so fun.
I haven't yet. It's TRE. I haven't yet.
You were